guard, they on the mic tonight. News coming in left and right. Move better with the latest fight. Gene's got the insight tight. Champions rise and they fall. Wire to wire, got it all. Every move in every brawl. Tune in for the curtain call. Wrestling talk all night long. Catch the latest match and song. Ring the bell, let's get it on. Every story bright and strong. In the ring they clash and roar. New rivalries and so much more. Titles change and legends lore.
Hey, what's poppin', y'all? It is your boy, it's Guard E3, and welcome to the Meaty Boyz podcast. And I'm sure you see we got somebody new in the house. But we'll start off. We'll introduce the guy who I call the greatest co-host of all time. He is Mo Better. How you doing, Mo?
I'm doing great. This is the third leg of our triple double. Still energized, ready to go. Glad to be here talking some wrestling.
No, absolutely. And we actually have two people joining us today. I got my friend back here, Quaxley the Duck. So shout out to my boy Quaxley back there. And of course, joining us for the first time on the Meaty Boyz podcast, she is Key Williams. How you doing, Key?
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's been a minute. It's been a long time. I'm ready to talk some wrestling. Let's go.
Let's go.
No, absolutely. Normally when we talk wrestling, we want to talk the pay-per-view. Normally we start, from front to back. We'll start with the first match, go last, but guys, I don't think we can actually do that this time. I feel like we have to start at the end and work our way back. So we're just going to get right to it. Elimination Chamber main event won by John Cena in an absolutely crazy chamber match. And of course, Cena celebrating. Out comes Cody. Out comes the final boss. The final boss wants Cody's soul. Cody tells him to go F himself, which John Cena hypes him up and then gives him a hug just for The Rock to give the kill order. And he proceeds to kick Cody Rhodes right in the nuts. I just want to start off with your guys' kind of reactions to what you guys think about the heel turn. And Keith, why don't we start off with you? What did you think about what happened on Saturday night to end the show?
You got to put this as one of the top 3 heel turns of all time. Got to put it up there. I kind of knew something was going to go down because Cena stayed in the ring afterwards. And I'm like, I thought maybe, okay, he's just going to be out there, going to have Cody's back. Yeah, no. Because shocked the crap out of me. I was not at all. We've been wanting this heel turn for some time. I'm not the biggest John Cena fan, but I was a fan of his Dr. Thugonomics days. But then once he started to, hustle, loyalty, respect, I'm just like, okay, I'm not the biggest John Cena fan. But this was top 3 heel turns of all time. In my opinion, I think it topped Hogan's NWO heel turn.
Say, what do you think, Mo? Where do you put this heel turn? Like, how do you put what happened Saturday night into perspective?
I was as shocked as anybody. It really blew my mind because when he hugged Cody, he was still being smiling, happy John Cena, and then like 5 seconds later, he had a serial killer face. I mean, he went stoned. And then Rock did that signal, and you knew. I mean, as soon as he went stone face, I was like, no. But yeah, John Cena heel turn. I think in terms of heel turns, his was the best executed heel turn I've ever seen. The way it was done, there were so many rumors going around where most people thought CM Punk was going to be the corporate. I was one of those people, by the way. I'll be honest. And they've been calling for Cena to be a heel for the better part of 20 years, and the man didn't do it. So on your farewell tour, the heel turn, yeah, I love it. And like I said, I think it's the best executed heel turn I've ever seen. I don't think it's the biggest heel turn because in terms of faces, Hogan is biggest face you can ever like as bigger face as Cena is, he still isn't a bigger face than Hogan. Like Hogan was like Captain America. That's how big like Hogan heel turning, nobody saw. He's that corny. Hogan is the corniest of the corny. Nobody would see him heel when he was coming down to the ring, and all those WCW guys were like, "Here comes Hogan!" Like he's coming to save the day, as he's always done. And then he leg drops Macho Man, and you're blown away. And the fan, and again, Cena's heel turn was executed better, but the emotional reaction from the fans, not even close. It was good, but not like the Hogan heel turn. Like they were upset. You saw all the cans and the food, like they were emotional about it. The Hogan heel turn was the biggest heel turn. And here's the thing about a heel turn. You can have a heel turn, it can be a great heel turn, but once you do that, you have to follow up. You got to be just as good in that role going forward as the turn. What Hogan did afterward, it was to me, I never liked Hulk Hogan. But Hollywood Hogan, that dude was cool. Hollywood Hogan made being a bad guy cool again. He did. And that was in the mist with WWE in the Attitude Era. The NWO for what, 2.5, 3 year period, nobody had more attitude. So yeah, I love what Cena did. I just hope that going forward, he embraces it the way Hogan did.
No, that's fair enough. When we're talking, what's up, Gene? Talking about SmackDown tonight, and yeah, as a quick breaking update, Naomi had just admitted that she did attack Jade. So interesting plot twist development. So it looks like we're going to be getting Naomi and Jade, I'm assuming, at WrestleMania. Yeah, just absolutely stunned. It was funny because when The Rock gave the little cutthroat signal for a moment, I still didn't believe it. I thought maybe, yeah, Rock's just taunting Cena, like he's coming for him next or something. Thought we were going to get that build, maybe even a longer build up to WrestleMania. And then he just did it. He went low, and I was just stunned. It's funny in terms of initial shock value. Yeah, this just might be the most shocking heel turn in history. I think it's right there with Hulk Hogan. I think you could flip-flop them. Personally, I would still put Hulk Hogan joining the NWO at number one. But the fact that this heel turn's even in the conversation is insane. And it opens up a plethora of options, right? You got, I think, the foregone conclusion is, well, John Cena just turned heel. Now he definitely wins at WrestleMania. But Cody has also been, a little bit one of the more protected guys in the company. And I think, ironically, there's a very intriguing story whether Cena wins or loses. Granted, I think he wins at WrestleMania and wins number 17. But it was shocking. And the follow-up, you don't know which direction it could go because there's a convincing story either way. And I'm excited to see just the ride that we get taken on when it comes to this. You say, yeah, it just an absolute stunner. I haven't really been shocked at a heel turn like this since, ironically, 2014, The Shield. I thought that was also just in terms of shock value. That was in my lifetime because I wasn't alive to see the Hogan in the NWO. Really, I was 95. He turned in 96, so I was only one, but I do understand how great it was and the importance of it.
Right.
But yeah, the first great heel turn that I saw was definitely Seth Rollins imploding the Shield. Just come off of a 3-0 sweep of Evolution at I think it was Payback. And I almost thought that. I didn't think anything would really top that in my lifetime because of how perfect it was. And then this happens.
It was amazing, surprising. Gene just alluded to what we talked about, that when you become a corporate champion, because this it's not a new formula, they're just doing it in a different way. But when you do that, you have to add a couple of more stars to that corporate roster, right? There's gonna be some other guys that get Cena's back, right? You always have a couple of guys that wrestle, and then you have another guy that's basically Cena's bodyguard. So that's going to take place as well. I'm just wondering, is it going to be another big name, another star to join Cena?
What if it's Solo?
I got a couple names for you. I think they're another group that just turned heel and they're kind of dead in the water. What if it's the New Day?
I knew you were going to say that. They're going to send the New Day after they get beat up for Cena. But yeah, I can see that. I like the idea of it being Solo. I would love it. It's not going to happen, but I would love it if Jacob Fatu was kind of like the bodyguard guy in that role. Every time Cena's about to lose a match or he's in trouble, you know what the werewolf can do. So I hope they do. No offense to the New Day, because it was interesting. I thought their heel turn was gonna breathe new life into them, and it's yet to happen. It's like no energy, nothing going on, and I'm not sure I want them to be anywhere near Cena in this story because I feel like they'll kind of like dull the story out. I just think the New Day, their day is over. It is what it is. Time waits for no man. I'd rather see more relevant stars. There are a lot of young stars that could pop coming over from Next or from somewhere else that could be, I don't want to say flunkies, but let's just say Cena's backup or sidekicks, whatever you want to call it, because you always have those when you have a corporate champion. And maybe the way the storyline goes, Rock just adds them to Cena without even asking Cena, right? Because he's the boss. Cena might be like, "No, I'm good. I don't need any help," and Rock will be like, "I didn't ask you."
Yeah, it's actually who might be a perfect group for that. Actually, if we're looking for thrown around, the Judgment Day. Like they're already an established faction, and they're pretty much done already. If anything, I think this would almost like breathe some new life into them. Granted, I think you split off Dom and like Liv, and if you see something in Finn, I think you split those guys off. But then you can have like Carlito, and whenever he returns, like JD can kind of take that bumping around role, and I think those are some more possibly intriguing names, guys who could afford to just lose and get thrown around for week after week. So there's so many like names and ways that this whole thing could go, and I love it. I love to see it, and I love it. WWE just made Road to WrestleMania that much more exciting, and I'm so eager for it.
They did.
Triple H did say, he was like, "Oh, y'all say I'm predictable? Ha! I got y'all."
He did. He said it in the post main elimination chamber interview. I listened for that, and he was right. He said sometimes you have to give the fans what they want, and sometimes you got to zig when they think you're zagging. He was spot on. He said the reason why nobody knew was because it wasn't even out there. Like even the people in the control room, he told them to step aside. I got this. They didn't even know. That was amazing to be able to be that tight-lipped about something like that.
Yeah, I love it when it's like nobody knows and it's in the dirt sheets. Like, let us be surprised for once. Let us have the natural reaction. And if you looked across Twitter, TikTok, everybody's reaction was the same. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That just absolutely terrific work. The only guy who I think might get louder boos on the road to WrestleMania just happened tonight. WWE showed Paul George on the Jumbotron and
Oh my
beat
God, I
the
forget.
crap out of him.
I was supposed to be
So-
there tonight. I was supposed to be there tonight, by the way.
You could have went. You could have been the one person cheering for Paul George. You could have been his biggest
Nope.
soldier.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah, they showed him on the Jumbotron tonight, and he got booed out of the building. So, of course,
I'm sure the media here is going to go crazy for that.
No doubt. I mean, and look, in the bigger picture, let's not forget the Elimination Chamber match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a well done, entertaining match.
yeah, I know there was a lot of just great stuff just in the match itself, right? From Seth stomping CM Punk and then just sitting outside the chamber yelling at him to just die. that was just on the great levels of hatred, great intensity. Drew McIntyre getting caught with the surprise roll up just completely fits into how his character would lose. The match itself, like I thought it was terrific. But you know what also was terrific, Mo? Because we ended the night with a murder, and we started the night with one. Talking about the women's elimination chamber match. And obviously we learned today that, Jade came out. They made it seem like she was going to go after Liv, beat the holy crap out of Naomi, who just admitted tonight it was indeed her that attacked Jade Cargill. So, what did you guys think of the women's chamber match? And what do you guys think of just the revelation that, it was Naomi that did it?
So I was on the fence for this whole time. So soon as they was like, "Oh my God, Jay got attacked," I'm like, I said they can't go back in time and have Bianca do this. I think it was like Austin and Shawn Michaels. I think had the same angle type of thing. I was like, they can't have Bianca do this. Bianca's not gonna turn heel for a while, only because she's like, not say like that Cena-esque, but she's good with the girls and everything else. So they don't want her to turn heel. I get it. But I was on the fence. I'm like, you know what? Naomi's gonna take this fall, and sure enough, she did. So I was shocked. I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked. But when Jade came out full force, I said, because you clearly seen Raquel and Liv on footage. You didn't see Naomi nowhere near the footage.
Right.
So I'm just like, all right, she going after Liv. Fooled the heck out of her. She damn near killed Naomi. And all Bianca could do is just sit there and watch. Like she couldn't do nothing. She was stuck in a pod. But she tore her head off. And I'm just like, oh no. But I still think later on down the line we're still going to get Bianca versus Jade. So I think maybe WWE's going to build her up. Maybe she's going to be a heel sooner or later. Maybe go around, everybody doubted me type. You know what? I don't care no more route. Just start wrecking people because it's time to get Jade away from Bianca now. She's been in there for a while. Bianca was in there to help her out, character-wise, getting her together. I think she can go out on her own now and prove to everybody she can be by herself. So I think we're still going to see Jade versus Bianca sometime later on down the line. Maybe SummerSlam, maybe WrestleMania for next year, maybe for a championship. But I can see that. On Naomi, I can see her coming back, turning heel, getting in a faction with Jackson and Lash in NXT. I think that would be good for them. I think that would be good for Naomi. We need to get her out of this Feel the Glow stuff. Get her a new character. But I mean I might like the Naomi heel Naomi if they do it right.
So
I think no, go ahead.
Oh no, I'd say, what do you think about Naomi turning heel? We're going from Feel the Glow to Fear the Glow. I'm here for it. What do you think, Mo?
Unlike the New Day, I think Naomi turning heel will energize her career even more because she's still a terrific in-ring performer. She is, and I think she's the kind of talent that even as a heel, I think she'll still have her share of fans. So I think she'll have enough heat that she might enjoy a whole new run as a heel. It would not shock me. As far as the Bianca situation, it's interesting to me because I'm not 100% sure she doesn't turn heel. I'm not sold because one or two things is going to happen. either she's going to turn heel or Rhea Ripley's going to turn heel, because I don't think they're really building up. There's going to be a time when Bianca and Jade meet in a main event at a big pay-per-view, but the one that they want, that they didn't want, I don't think they wanted Rhea to lose to. I think they want Rhea and Bianca by themselves, because I think that's a main event to me at a WrestleMania. It literally, those two in a ring with their skill set, with their athleticism, that's a main event. The only question I have, I guess, is Rhea gonna enact her the clause where she can defend her belt, her rematch clause, and WrestleMania becomes a triple threat match between her, Io, and Bianca, because I think that if it becomes a triple threat match, it's guaranteed one of those two women are going to turn heel.
Yeah, and I think she finds her way into the match. I think it will be a triple threat. I do think we're going to get a heel turn. It almost feels like Io Sky's there, like give her that extra title run, but it really does feel like she's kind of in there to take the fall, because you don't want to give up this match yet if it's not going to main event, right? And I think the main event for this match is coming. I'll give you 2 pay-per-views that I think it either happens at, and I don't think they're going to wait till WrestleMania. I'm starting to think they're not. I think they'll either pull the trigger at an A. They're rumored to be bringing Evolution 2, the all-women pay-per-view, back. Apparently that's slated for sometime this year, and if that turns out to be true, I could see them putting that match in the main event. Okay, let's say they don't do that. Let's not throw them in the main event at Evolution 2. I think they have a main event SummerSlam. That event is now 2 nights.
2 nights, yep.
And you need 2 electric main events, 2 big-time main events. And I think they'll book it as a match that they'll tell us, and it will be true, is WrestleMania worthy. But we're giving it to at SummerSlam, which honestly, I'm happy about it. I'll take it. So I think we're going to get that one-on-one main event, and I think it's going to happen before the end of the year.
I'm hoping to go to SummerSlam because it's at MetLife Stadium, and yeah, I'll travel to North Jersey.
Oh, that's what's up. That's the move. And look, I don't want to get too far away from it, but the women's elimination chamber match as a whole, I thought they were amazing. I thought they were every bit as good as the guys. Like, I think they put on such a show that they were like, the guys had to live up to what they did. There were so many moments when Bianca cracked Liv with that braid, the sound, and then you saw the mark, the welt. Like, I was like, I wonder how much she made for that. I mean, she got something for that.
I would definitely demand a raise if they're like, yeah, Bianca's gonna whip you with her braid. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need like an extra $25K here, something. Like, come on.
Well, maybe they didn't know it was gonna be that loud, but the sound was almost deafening. Like, it was just like, oh my god! And then she used it again, her braid, and pulling her against, into the cage. That was a nice spot too. The women, that was a hell of a way to open up a show.
Alexa Bliss was amazing, and I thought that all the ladies accounted themselves really well in that match. And I had to give a big shout out to Liv Morgan, because I knew Liv wasn't going to win, but she put on such a show that at the very end, I thought, I think Liv might pull this. She might be trying to pull this off. Liv was doing her thing. And it's nice to see that even though she's not the champ, they're still elevating her, because I feel like she could hold on to those tag team belts for a minute.
Yeah, no, they're a great tag team, Liv and Raquel, and I'm excited. Hopefully at the end of the day, they give them the tag team title run they deserve, and they just kind of don't forget about them. It's been a little bit of a problem with the women's secondary titles. They've been to the wayside. I always forget that Lyra Valkyrie's the IC champion, because she doesn't defend the title. I don't see it on TV that much. So, and of course, the other match that, and Tiffany and Trish versus Nia and Candice.
That was the bathroom match. I'm
It
not
was-
even gonna hold y'all. I saw none of that match.
See, Key said what I said. I said that was the go get your snacks, talk to the vendors match. It was. Now I'm not gonna lie, I watched it, but as I'm watching it, I realized quickly I need to go get me something to eat. It was not. It was. It just wasn't a good match. There was no
They only
chemistry.
did that because Trish was in her hometown, and
Right,
she was in Toronto, and Tiffany Stratton. They're trying to push her to be the face.
I get it.
I was like, let me know when this match is over.
And Trish, I believe Trish's kids were there, and they said that this was the first time they watched her live perform. And I'm like, and I get it. She's one of the all-time greats, so they big upped her, but it wasn't. It just wasn't an entertaining match.
They could have saved that for Raw or SmackDown. Like,
They
I
really-
felt
they
like that
really-
was an Elimination Chamber worthy, like a
It was-
pay-per-view worthy match.
It was not. It wasn't.
But you know what was the pay-per-view worthy match? Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, unsanctioned. Now, the craziest report I've heard about this match is they asked WWE to not shave down the barbed wire to give it that maximum impact.
Wow.
So they were just beating the crap out of each other. I think you can make a very good argument that this was the best match of the night. 5 stars. If I had to give it a rating system, I would straight up would say a 5-star classic. It had violence, it was emotional, the storytelling was top notch. Just absolutely terrific work from both men. And I hope that Sammy gets a WrestleMania moment. I know they said he's out indefinitely, so maybe that's their way of saying he's not going to be at WrestleMania, but man, just what a match from him and Kevin. Just terrific work. And of course, Randy Orton comes back after. Just what did you guys think about the entirety of that match and the Randy Orton return after?
I called it. I said, this is where Randy Orton comes back. He's going to face KO, and Randy came out. But the whole match itself was great. Just the spots, especially with the drinks at the table. I was like, oh man, that's some good popcorn and drinks y'all wasting back there. Went through the table and everything. Definitely had their spots. You can tell Kevin Owens missed his blade spot a little bit because I'm like, how you going to have barbed wire? There's no blood. What is going on? What is going on here? But overall, it was a great match. Blue Thunder bombs, the Lula kick, the pop up power bomb. It was great. Had multiple referees. I'm like, Kevin, what they do to you? The refs don't do nothing to you, but you already know some refs are gonna take the fall. And then here comes Randy, and we was about to get the punt, and then I said, oh, now security want to do their job and hold back Randy Orton. But
Right.
it's you already know they're gonna fight at WrestleMania, so. But that's going to be another banger match. This match was definitely match of the night for me.
I thought it was better than Cody and Kevin. You know what I mean? And that was as intense as you could get. I thought Sammy stepped his game up. And Kevin Owens, I don't know if he knows how to have a bad match, especially if it's going to be a non-sanctioned match. Like if you're talking about things like a street fight, that's right in Kevin Owens' element. And I was actually impressed that Sammy could go there with him, and he did. I mean, in the end, I'm not surprised that Kevin Owens won because, like I said, that you're in his wheelhouse if you're going to make it a street fight. But it was a great fight, and I agree. If we're comparing them to every match of the night, it was the best match.
At the rate those two are going, I don't think I almost have a lot of. I think both of them are going to have a real strong case at the end of their careers to be almost on the Mount Rushmore of like Canadian wrestlers for the WWE, and that's a really stacked list because your best Canadian wrestlers, obviously, we're talking Bret Hart, Edge, and Chris Jericho. So I think that. And then, the fourth spot, there's guys like Christian, Owen Hart. There's just a lot of different names you can put in that last spot. But when it comes to these two, I think they both could very well give these guys, legends like Jericho, Edge, and even Bret Hart a run for their money for the greatest wrestler to ever come out of Canada.
Stop it.
Hey,
Greater than Bret Hart?
I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
Greater than Bret Hart?
You said Kevin Owens is going to be greater than Bret Hart.
That's a lot.
I said it's a possibility. If they keep up the way they're going.
The best there is, the best he was, the best there ever will be. I
would take 10 of Bret Hart's big matches versus 10 of Kevin Owens. I don't think it's as close as you think it is.
See, and that's the thing. I think it's closer than people think it is. Like, they're both capable of a lot of great stuff. Listen, I think Bret Hart's the greatest Canadian wrestler of all time, but who says if, KO doesn't keep this up for another 10, 15 years or however long he goes at the level he's going, that he ain't in that conversation? That's all I'm saying. I think the trajectory, he's going to put himself in the conversation regardless if he ends up being the greatest or not.
If he keeps having unsanctioned matches, he ain't wrestling for another 10 years.
No, that's fair. He's back-to-back brutal matches, and I'm sure that the match with Randy Orton's going to be just as brutal at WrestleMania. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. Like I said, it sounds like Jade and Naomi. And, of course, I got to ask, just when we thought the surprises were done, they kept on rolling. The next night on Raw, main event match, Io versus Rhea. Everybody who I saw on Twitter said, no way Rhea's dropping this title belt this close to WrestleMania until it happened. Do you think that was the right call? And if so, do you guys want a triple threat match at WrestleMania? Or maybe it's just keep it Bianca and Rhea or Io?
So I initially thought it was going to be a triple threat anyway, but I thought it was going to be Rhea still holding on to the title and not her losing it, only because it was some, finish to why Io couldn't get into the match anyway. She got eliminated, so she wasn't in the chamber to begin with. So I knew they was going to give her a rematch, but I thought it was going to be a triple threat and just have her WrestleMania moment. But this was a huge swerve because I'm still shocked and awe and lost in the head scratcher why they had her beat her on Raw. One, Rhea's never beaten Io one-on-one.
Right.
I get that. But I'm just like, why now? I still don't know why now, H. Like, Trips, what you swerved us all with that one. I still don't know what the motive was behind that. But Rhea Ripley's she's a face. She's a crowd pleaser. She's super over. So I'm wondering now what's going to happen. Is she going to still be in between? Even if she goes heel, I still think the crowd is still going to be behind her regardless, because Mommy's always on top. So it's just shaking. It's just shaking my head. Now, do they let Bianca win and pin Io, and Rhea still has that, she don't get pinned type of, so they still making her look good? I still, it's a head scratcher. I still don't know why Triple H let her lose. I don't know, but it's going to be a triple threat. It's going to be a triple threat.
I think it's a triple threat because Triple H said it. I'm gonna take you on a journey, and you're not always gonna know which direction we go. No one saw this coming. I knew it was going to be a great match, but I didn't think at any point, I was like, it's great. You're going to get a lot of false finishes, but Rhea's not dropping the belt. But when she dropped it, immediately I said, triple threat match at WrestleMania, and either Bianca or Rhea is going to do a heel turn. One of the two is going to walk out of there a heel.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair enough. And hey, I'm saying one person predicted it.
You did. I remember you did predict it. I give you credit for that.
I had to flex that one, and I don't think the surprises are done, because next week we have Seth and CM Punk in a cage in Madison Square Garden, and you cannot convince me that this isn't setting up the stage for the Roman Reigns return. Like, I don't think there's a better place to bring him back than Madison Square Garden. So you can't convince me that the surprises are over and that Roman Reigns will, not be returning on Monday. Like, I think, we got the Cena heel turn, we got Io winning, and I think next Monday we're going to get Roman. So, triple threat.
Did anybody see the post match interview that Rhea gave? It was it told a lot, and maybe it was kind of giving you foreshadowing of what was to come, because she was all emotional and she was like, I thought me and Bianca were friends, but I guess we're not friends. And then she was like, well, you can't. What I've learned is nobody's really friends. I can't trust anybody. I don't really have. I mean, she said she feels isolated. Like I said, to me, I think it's all part of the storyline. And to his credit, what Triple H and Creative has done is, I don't know if it's going to be Rhea or Bianca, because there's so many different ways you can go with the storyline, because you could take Rhea on one journey and you can take Bianca on a journey where she's headed, straight for Jade. I don't know which one of them is going to make that turn. But to me, if you're going to make Bianca and Jade eventually collide, I've been struggling. Like, it seems like Jade is a natural heel. Even though she's been a face, she's a natural heel. But because Bianca's a better in-ring talent, I think Bianca will be the heel versus Jade.
Yeah, it's one of those things that post-match, promo with Rhea, I thought that's something that she desperately needed, right? If you have one complaint about Rhea Ripley, it's really just lack of almost like maturity and character growth, because no matter what happened to her for the last 6 months, it's really just the same old kind of shtick with her with, mommy's always on top, and she just kind of didn't really show a lot of like emotional and character development. And I think that was a great step in kind of correcting that. So I think that was absolutely fantastic. And I think that's what a lot of people who are kind of hating on Rhea, I think that's what they wanted to see, just some genuine emotion and just kind of acknowledging her mistakes. So I thought that was a terrific promo by Rhea.
Didn't you think it was crazy though during the match where she started to engage with Bianca, and then she has Io out of it. She's up at the top rope. She turns to Bianca and go, "See you at Mania," right? Like, and Io counters. It does set. Now it seems obvious to me that, and Bianca's really good at always acting like she's surprised, like I don't know what happened and what's going on. I think she knows a lot more about than she's saying. And I think that I'd like to hear what Jade has to say. It seems like they've kept the clamps on Jade. She hasn't said anything. But yeah, look, I think WrestleMania is going to set up for so many triple threat matches. It's going to be an insane Mania.
Guess my question after that is, Mo, I think we and like, I'll start with Key on this one. We know what the main event of night 2 is going to be. Cena Cody. There's no other way you can close out Mania. What's the main event of night 1? Is it Jay versus Gunther? Is it the women's title triple threat? Charlotte versus Tiffany?
It's not going to be Charlotte and Tiffany. I highly doubt it's going to be Rhea, even though Bianca won a Royal Rumble, even though Charlotte won a Royal Rumble. I don't know if it's going to be if it's going to be main event. If it's going to be Seth Punk and Roman Reigns. You have to put that's a main event quality match. You're going to have to put them somewhere in the main event. I feel like they can close out the show. Like you cannot have them somewhere in the middle. They got to close it out night 1. They're going to be main event night 1.
What do you think, Mo? Do you think that's the move to close it out with Roman, Seth, and Punk?
They're the 3 biggest stars. Even though they're not wearing the belts, they're essentially 3 of the top 4 biggest stars in the company. Yeah, those 3 guys. They have enough heat around them that they don't need belts for that match to matter. And the thing going on with Rollins and Punk, and then the thing going on with Reigns and Punk, the thing going on with Reigns and Rock, like there's real hatred there by those three men. Their egos alone is going to carry that match. I'm with Key. That's the match that closes it out. My guess is Gunther and Jay will be the match before that.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. We that would be it's rare that you would close out WrestleMania with a non-title match, but it has been done before, right? It normally needs to be a really big deal. The recent example in the past couple of years, The Rock and Roman versus Seth and Cody closing out night 1, Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold at 38, Undertaker versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36 night 1, Taker Roman at WrestleMania 33. I could see this match closing out the show. Absolutely, no doubt about it, and I think it will. If I had to rank them, I would love to see the women triple threat close out the show, although I don't think it'll happen.
No, I don't think so either.
But the last match I want to see close out the show is Tiffany versus Charlotte, because I'm just not excited about that match. The problem,
it's a title match, but I feel like for whatever reason, it's a title match that should be like the first match. I'm just saying, there's no heat. They're trying to bring something up, and they're trying to create something between them. I think my problem is I like Tiff Stratton better when she was a heel. I liked her better as a heel. You know what I mean? Like they're making her into like almost like a female Hulk Hogan, and I'm not feeling it. It doesn't work. And they're making her so over as a heel that Charlotte had to become the heel and Tiff is the face. And even then, I just don't feel that heat between those two ladies. Maybe because the fans are still like Charlotte didn't deserve that spot or that opportunity or whatever. I don't know. But I wouldn't want that to be a main event match.
It's funny, and I'd love to hear what you think, Key, because I think the problem is in the build. I've seen them interact 4 times since WrestleMania, and Charlotte has absolutely just beat the crap out of her every single time. Tiffany's never getting the upper hand. It's just Charlotte jumping her from behind and locking her in the figure 8 and just absolutely kind of just dog walking her every single time. I get it. You want to make the heel look strong, make it look, like the baby face is in serious peril. But at some point, I need the baby face to look competent. And Tiffany just hasn't. She's just getting destroyed and outsmarted at every turn. This match is almost starting to get negative heat. Just put this one on the pre-show and let's go home.
Right.
And I don't want to say that because I think these are two of the best ladies in the business right now. But come on, can Tiffany get some kind of an advantage at some point? It's not just Charlotte kicking the crap out of her and telling her bow down to the queen and leaving. I just viewed to kind of start balancing out a little bit for me to start caring, because as of right now, it just looks like, okay, well, I know that Charlotte was going to probably win going into the match, and now I just feel like Charlotte's just going to absolutely destroy Tiffany at WrestleMania, and we're just going to call it good. If that's the case, I don't care. Key, what do you think of this build so far between Tiffany and Charlotte?
I think it could be better. It could be better. I think maybe as WrestleMania gets closer, I think we might see it build up a little bit. But I still think Tiffany is going to win this match. I don't think Charlotte's going to win. I think Charlotte's going to be there to put her over. Yeah. Because it's the fans are going to go crazy. Charlotte comes back and wins the championship again.
Facts.
Again. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm a Charlotte fan. I get it. They wanted her to beat Ric Flair's record, not Cena. She's already 14 already, right. 14. So I mean, I don't see her losing it. I don't see her beating Tiffany. I see them pulling on a great match. I bet not see Charlotte do no moonsault, because that's what almost took her out. And she needs to take notes from Tiffany Stratton, because she has the most beautiful moonsault I've ever seen. She better take notes. That's how you do a moonsault. Because even I've seen Charlotte maybe hit her moonsault maybe 99 times of 100. Maybe one time she's actually hit it and she didn't overdo it. Like she misses. I think I seen her. She landed actually perfect. But I got Tiffany beating her.
I agree. I think that Charlotte's a big enough star that it's good for business, and it makes sense that Tiffany would find a way to win, even though she's looked dominant in the build-up. And look, somewhere down the line, we all know Charlotte Flair is going to wear a championship belt again. She is somewhere down the line, but she's a big enough star. She doesn't have to have one around her waist all the time. I think this is the build-up for Tiffany, for Tiffany's run. I think it'll be a great match, but I agree with Key. I think Tiff's going to win.
And I hope so, because I agree. I don't think Charlotte needs it at all, and I think that this would benefit Tiffany so much if she beats Charlotte at WrestleMania. It would be just a great moment, and I'd be here for it. I'd absolutely love it.
If you're gonna give Charlotte the belt, let her get the U.S. title. I mean, make that sort of relevant. I feel like you got the title so far. You got Laura Valkyrie with the Intercontinental, and I just feel like they're not pushing her. That I saw that match, and I'm just like, I was so uninterested. And then you got the U.S. title. I'm just like, these are supposed to be the secondary belts to the women's title.
Right.
You gotta make them some type of relevant. This is where you have a mid card for a reason. They got plenty of women back there who can value this championship. So they need to make the mid card division kind of tighten up. They got titles now. Put on good matches. I preferably don't care for the champions of either one right now. Chelsea Green, okay, she had her run. The crowd's behind her. Let somebody else take it now. Same thing with Valkyrie. Somebody else can get it. I don't care. Don't care who, just not them two.
And I the idea of the U.S. women's United States and Intercontinental title was good in theory, but I also think it was almost doomed to fail from the start. And the reason why I think that, just look at like what they're doing with like the United States title right now. They just have no clue what to do with it. And that's kind of the problem, right? Like they didn't know what to do with their mid card when it was only like 2 titles. Then they added the women's tag titles, and they really didn't know what to do.
Oh, them tag titles, you might as well just burn them.
And now you add the women's Intercontinental United States, and you already didn't know what to do when it was just the tag titles. And now they're like even more lost in the shuffle. So I want to see these titles do well. But like at the rate they're going, like with these titles, like I almost wouldn't be opposed as like, before the end of the year, if this continues, to just do a title unification match and shrink it down to 1 women's mid-card title if you can't handle 2.
I mean, I think they can handle 2. It's just they're not pushing the other women. Like they're good. I don't know what it is. They're just not pushing.
Yeah, I'm with Key. I think if Triple H and creative put the same kind of energy and work they do into storytelling for the bigger stars, if they did that for the U.S. belt, if they did that for the Intercontinental belt, they would matter so much more. But like he said to her point, they're not doing that at all. They're not getting that push. They're not getting interesting storylines. That's what happened to Gunther as a champion. He's a terrific performer, but once he won, they really didn't do anything with him.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what's funny? I found maybe the worst fantasy booker of all time, by the way, Mo and Key. Genuinely never let this guy cook again. I go on Facebook today. You know what I see? WWE's building this Hollywood stable with The Rock and John Cena. I'm sure you can already see what this guy's idea is. What if we throw Hollywood Hogan in there? I'm like, you guys, it's 2025. Please keep that man away from my TV screen.
Right.
Keep him far away from John Cena. Keep him far away from The Rock. Like, to me, I just wanted to bring that up because I just thought that was almost the funniest idea possible. And because I'm just like, please do not think about it. And the reason I bring it up is because I almost feel like that's something Triple H would actually consider. Because, Hogan does get heat. Not the good heat, but he gets heat, and he's Hollywood. So it's something that I feel like they would legitimately consider, and I hope they absolutely never touch. Because
I just hope with this heel turn with John Cena, can we please? The whole time he was fighting, I was just talking about his ball spot. It was so serious. I'm just like, oh my God, let it go. Just please shave it off. Go back to the buzz cut. Do something. Spray it. I don't care. But that whole match, I should not be talking about your ball spot because it was. I didn't know it was that bad.
It was annoying. Look, and we all know John Cena makes enough money. Get you a rug, man. Get you one of them. Get you a sports rug. You know what I mean? That way you can get flung around and that Friar Tuck patch isn't there. Like, that's rough, man. Like that. The funny thing is, if I don't see the ball spot, he doesn't really seem that old to me. But every time I see that ball spot, I'm like, Jesus, John, you got money. Do something. Like, come on, man. Like that. It stands out. Like, I feel like he thinks he's fooling us, but I'm like, John, at some point we're gonna see the back of your head. You know what I mean?
maybe that's part of his secret to just kind of getting himself booed. Just keep the bald spot. Make sure Def Rebel cooks up the worst entrance music they can for him. Like, just do all the little things that the fans hate that annoy the crap out of them. But I do agree. I'd love to see Buzz Cut John. And, before we get up on out of here, we talked about this on the morning show, guys. But I wanted to throw it out there again. I'm thinking tomorrow I'll make sure to start throwing these out there. But, we're going to have a fun little contest on the Meaty Boyz page. And that contest is simple. What is the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time? And instead of just making a post out of it, make it a little round robin tournament. Now, I did randomize every match, so some matches got really lucky, others not so much. So, we got WrestleMania 40. I think this one's pretty obvious which one wins. Cody and Roman or Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow. And, some of these are, landslides like this. I think this is easy. But then you go to the next match. WrestleMania 37 Triple Threat versus Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker.
That's a tough call. Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker have such great chemistry, but that match, that triple threat, I don't know, man.
I gotta go triple threat match here.
See,
I think I'm leaning. I think that was a great match, but I think I'm with Key. I'm kind of leaning towards triple threat because that was an amazing match.
I'm excited to see what the results pan out because I'd go Taker Shawn barely on this one. The next match we got lined up. Yeah, I think this one's another landslide. Hogan and Hogan's going to appear on here a lot. That man has like 10 WrestleMania main events to start out Mania. So I think this one's pretty easy. Hogan and Andre better than Hogan and Psycho Sid.
Hogan Psycho Sid was terrible.
Yeah. By the way,
WrestleMania wasn't this the first WrestleMania?
No, that was Mr. T and Hogan versus Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff.
Yeah, versus Mr. Wonderful. Yeah.
There is one match I left off of here, by the way. That was Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9.
That's good.
That was the biggest abomination of a WrestleMania match I've ever seen. I was much worse off watching it, and just may God have mercy on my soul because I saw that match. And, of course, I think this is another landslide. First round matchup. Stone Cold and HBK with Mike Tyson at ringside versus John Cena versus The Miz at WrestleMania 27. Oh, God,
Cena and Miz? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think this one's an easy one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going with Michaels and Stone Cold.
I think this is another easy one. WrestleMania 30 triple threat match or Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, we're going to go triple threat.
Yeah, not Hogan and Bundy.
Some of these main events are just mind-boggling in the beginning. Like, who wanted Hogan versus King Kong Bundy? I can't even imagine at WrestleMania 2 in that time frame. People are like, you know what would be dope? Hulk Hogan versus Bundy. Like, I just can't see it.
That old school cage was a joke. Ain't nobody was getting hit with that.
Of course, Brett versus Shawn 60-minute Iron Man match versus the Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Championship. The McMahon in every corner.
Yeah, no, we going Iron Man match here.
Yeah, this one's. I think this one's pretty easy too, because I think the bottom one was a disappointment. Triple H versus Randy, or the Usos versus KO and Sami Zayn.
Hey, no, it was definitely when the title switched. Yeah. You got to go that.
Yeah, that was just an absolute banger. So I think this one's pretty easy. John Cena and The Rock at WrestleMania 28, or Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns WrestleMania 34.
Isn't this when Seth cashed in?
No, that was 31. This is 34, that match in New Orleans that got booed out of the building.
You read my mind. I thought it was too. I'm glad we corrected that.
Yeah, no, I think this one was definitely the first Rock and Cena matchup. That was absolutely terrific.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
All right, I think we got a theme here, so we're going to stick with it. Not Hogan.
No, that's fair, because genuinely Hogan gets all of these main event matches, and you're just like, who is calling for it?
Oh, like, Ronda Rousey was horrible as a wrestler.
Yeah,
I almost want to go Hogan Slaughter here, but I'm not. Jesus,
the Hogan versus Iraqi sympathizer Sergeant Slaughter was just awful.
God.
Batista Triple H, I think this one's easy. Taker's my favorite of all time, but I can't defend him versus Psycho Sid at 13.
Yeah.
Now this was the heist of the century.
Okay. Yeah.
Lesnar, obviously the real match was Lesnar versus Reigns, but with the cash in from Rollins, or was Chris Jericho versus Triple H better? I think this one's pretty easy. I got the heist of the century.
That was awesome, though. That was awesome. I could watch that again.
And then, absolutely. This one, too. Why not Stone Cold versus The Rock, or Triple H and Roman Reigns? I think this one was pretty easy. This is the match at Safeco Field. I think this is just The Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, this one's pretty easy too. Roman and Taker was just a disaster.
It was.
The triple threat just blows this one out of the water.
I mean, look at those performers, because I don't even know if Benoit's capable of having a bad match. And then you got Mr. Big Match himself, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. They delivered the hype for Reigns and Taker. The match never lived up to the hype.
Yeah. Of course. I think this is the rare Hogan match. I think
we're gonna go Hogan and Warrior here.
Is this when Hogan lost the belt?
Yep.
All right. Warrior. Then I'm going Hogan Warrior.
when Hogan pulled the most dickish move of all time, and kicks out at 3.1, the referee's hand barely hit the mat for that 3 count, and Hogan made sure to kick out. Come on, Hulk. Just let Warrior go over, buddy. It's okay.
Right. He couldn't help himself.
Now here's the original WrestleMania 1 main event, or John Cena versus The Rock.
I'm going Cena Rock. Rock.
I guess I go Cena and Rock.
If you saw that match, it's the first one, but it was so bad because Mr. T was awful. Just awful.
Yeah, I think your only argument for the top one would be, historical significance, but in terms of main event, yeah, I'd go Cena Rock. Sasha and Bianca, or Drew versus Brock. I'd go Sasha Bianca on this one.
I'm going Sasha and Bianca.
They brought it. Yeah. I'm going with the boss.
No, absolutely. Taker and AJ Styles in a boneyard match, or
boneyard match.
Yep.
I've never seen a match like that. They broke new ground when they did it. The way they did it was so cinematic. I'm definitely going with that match.
No, fair enough. Cena versus Triple H or Taker versus Edge. I think
Taker
this
and
is
Edge was great because this match that had me on the edge of my seat because Taker's streak was always involved, and he got so many near falls against Taker. You just didn't know who was going to win this match, but I gotta go Edge Undertaker here.
I thought I'm not gonna lie. I thought Edge was gonna beat him. Like I thought the streak was gonna end then. Like that's how far Edge pushed Taker that night. That was awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is Edge Taker. I think this is a close one. I think there's one coming up that's like mega close, and it's almost impossible to call, in my opinion. Hey, it's right here, actually. So, Roman versus Cody, part 1, or Brock Lesnar versus Triple H, where Lesnar wins the WWE title at WrestleMania. This got the random matchup, and I felt so bad because both of these matches should be like going to like almost the finals, but they drew each other in the first round.
Give me Roman and Cody.
Yeah, look, but anybody that saw both matches, you get your money's worth. I'm gonna go with Roman and Cody too. Maybe I'm gonna say it's recency bias because I saw it. It's still stuck in my mind, but it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. This is one where I don't think you can go wrong either way, honestly. Yeah, Stone Cold and The Rock versus Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. This one's just Stone Cold versus The Rock.
Yeah, I'm going that way.
And this one too. Oh my lord, I felt so bad for this.
Oh, that's top one. The tag match.
Oh, but you know,
you was there for night 1. I wasn't. I came night 2. But one of the best WrestleManias ever.
Come on, you got to go with the top match.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I gotta give Stone Cold credit. He came out and put on a great one-on-one match. You know, Kevin Owens is a great dance partner. I went with the top match, but yeah, this is another fun one, I thought. Okay, yeah. So the Mega Powers imploding, leading to Hogan versus Savage, or HBK versus John Cena at WrestleMania 23.
I'm going with HBK versus Cena. Even though, by the way, the Hogan versus Savage match actually was a great match.
I'm gonna be the lone wolf here and take Hogan and Macho Man.
No, that's fair. I think in terms of storytelling, you know, Hogan and Macho, and it delivered. So actually, I might go with Hogan and Macho here, barely. And yeah, that's it. Like I said, there was one match missing, and I figured that if you want to make the strong argument for WrestleMania 9's Hogan Yoko match over any of these, I'm going to block you. We are not doing that. So. Absolutely. So, you know, a quick run through of all the matches. I'm gonna start posting them on the page starting tomorrow. Post a couple of them a day, and you know, see where we end up with what's the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. But that is all the time we have for tonight. I just want to thank you, Keith, for hopping on. You know, and you're always more than welcome to join us any week that you'd like. Is there any last words you want to say before we get up on out of here?
Appreciate y'all for having me on. It's always good to talk some wrestling. Yeah, can't wait till this road to WrestleMania build up. I'm gonna try to. We all obviously I miss SmackDown, but you know I always catch it. You know, catch the clips on Twitter and whatnot. I'm always in the loop of things. So, but yeah, can't wait till Raw. I wonder when they're gonna bring Cena, when he's gonna be on TV. Like, are they gonna? I'm sure they're not gonna wait to WrestleMania for him to be on. He has to come to one of them shows. So I'm excited to see what Cena's his music is gonna be, what his look is. And I know he's gonna get some. His booze may outdo Dom's booze.
If he's on Dom's level, that's saying something.
Oh, absolutely. Mo, anything you want to add in before we get up on out of here?
No, thank everybody that came out to support us in the chat. Appreciate so much for Key hopping on. Always good to link up with one of my besties, one of my best in this business. Love working with Key, so it's good to see you again. Hope you come back real soon. Love it.
No, absolutely. Definitely hope to have Key back soon. We'll be going back to our usual time next week, Tuesday at 8. So from Mo Betta, Key, Quaxley, and myself, thank you for tuning in to the Meaty Boyz podcast, and we are signing out.